Okay, in this video I will share to all of you about how to make commercial building with Plaza. First of all, we have to make the basic shape with a rectangle here. Then we can set the value, approximately is around 30 meter and 20 meter for the first building. Then we have to push it up around 1 meter. Okay, then we can triple click, right click and make group, and then we can move, press Ctrl and then place to this position. Okay, well, now we can right click and make component, create. Then we can click, right click and make component, create, and then we can adjust the mesh building plan here. We can rotate it by this position, and we can rotate it by this position. Okay, now we can select the both of the plane. Then we can select move, press Ctrl, place to this position. Then we have to move it up around 3.6 meter approximately. Then we can select move again, press Ctrl, place this another position, and we can determine the count of the typical floor over there in that commercial building. Okay, maybe this is about the commercial building. Okay, well, now we can make the another element. We can make the bridge element over there. We can using the line. We can click from this position until this position, this corner, and can click this corner, and this corner. Well, now we can get this point. Then we can push it down. Okay, well, now we can triple click, right click and make group, and then we can right click, make component, create. Then we can select a move with move tool, press Ctrl, place to this another position. Okay, I mean it's enough because this is for the plaza area. Now we can make the another element. We can make the vertical frame as usual. We can make the vertical frame with using rotated rectangle. Click from this position, then we can set the height of the vertical frame around 100 millimeter approximately. Then we can select a push, click this plane first, then select a push tool, then we can push it to the front around 200 millimeter. Triple click, right click and make group, and also make component, create. Okay, then we can assign with the metal material for the vertical frame with using metal material here. We can click this vertical frame, select a move, press Ctrl, and then we can place to this appropriate position. Then we can type 15/enter. Okay, well, now we can see about the distance between the every single vertical frame over there. Okay, we can see about the distance. The distance is around 1.3 meter. Okay, and it's done. And I will show you about the dimension for every single building over there. This is about the 32 meter, this dimension, and for the height of this building is around 20 meter. Okay, well, now we can okay, now we can select all. We can check again for the dimension. This is and this position. Okay, this is around 49 meter, and for the viewer and for the little distance is around 30 meter. Okay, then I will show you about the height of this building, 20 meter and 32 meter. Okay, so you can see about the every single dimension, right? Okay, this is a 32 meter, this is a 20 meter, and then this is 50 meter approximately, or 49 meter, and this is 30 meter also. This is 20 meter, and this is 32 meter. Okay, well, now I will show you about the height of this building. Approximately is around 28.6 meter. Okay, 28.6 meter. Okay, well, now this is about the basic meshing of this building. Now we can delete the dimension. So you can repeat this video. You can repeat this video to make sure the dimension and make sure for the my previous type over there. Then we can select all this frame. Okay, then we can right click and make group, and we can select move, press Ctrl, then we can place to this another position. We can click to this position, then we can select rotate. Okay, then we can place to this position. Okay, well, okay, now we can select a move with move tool, press Ctrl, and then place to this position. Okay, then we can select a move again from this side of this vertical exterior placement. We have to place in this position. Okay, well, now we can select this one again, or maybe we can make the another vertical frame again. Click the rotated rectangle, click in this position. Okay, we can click from this point. Okay, we can click to this point, then we can set the height around 100 millimeter, then we can push it to the front around 200 millimeter. We can triple click, right click and make group, and we can assign the material. Okay, so we can select right click and make component, create, then we can select a move, press Ctrl, then we can place to this appropriate position on the left side over there. Then we can type for example, we can type 20 slash and enter. Okay, so we can see about the distance over there. We can see about the distance between every single vertical frame. The distance is around 1.6 meter. I mean it's still makes sense or reasonable. Okay, now we can select this vertical frame, but we have to deselect this grouped vertical frame. Then we select this one, right click and make group, and okay, now we can select this group again by select move, press Ctrl, then we place to this appropriate position over there, and also we have to enter the group and select all this group vertical frame only. Then we can right click and make unique, then we can push it down to this bottom floor over there. Okay, well, now we can move and duplicate this group vertical frame. We can select a move with a move tool, press Ctrl from this corner, and then we have to place to this appropriate position on this another building. Then we can rotate it. Okay, we have to select move, place to this position. Okay, well, we have to check for connection. Okay, I mean it was a perfect placement over there. Okay, then we can select move. Okay, press Ctrl and place to this another position. Okay, then we can rotate it. Okay, we can rotate it to this position. Okay, and it's done anyway, and this is done. Then we have to make the vertical frame again. Click from this position, click to this position, then we can set the height is around 100 millimeter. Then we have to push it to the front around 200 millimeter. Triple click, right click and make group, right click and make component, create, select aluminum assignment of the material. Then we can select move, press Ctrl, and then we have to place to this appropriate position over there. Place this position, then we can type 30 slash enter. Okay, well, now we can make several vertical frame to be one group anyway. Okay, we have to make the several vertical frame. This one we have to click one by one to facilitate us and to make us easier to modify it for further editing. Then we can right click and make group, then we have to move and duplicate to this appropriate side placement in this position. Okay, we have to place to this position, and we have to check that about the wall orientation or building orientation in the back side over there, because this is a difference, so we have to make sure that this is on the correct and proper placement between the vertical frame and the wall on the back side of this bridge building. Then we have to delete some unnecessary vertical frame over there. Okay, we have to delete this. Then we have to make sure that it's on the perfect connection between every single vertical frame over there. Okay, maybe this one approximately. This is just for example. Okay, well, now we can make the another variation. We can make the another variation. We can redraw again with using line tool. You can select this every single intersection of this wall, of this outline of this building meshing. Okay, we can select this one and select this one. Okay, we can select this intersection, and also this intersection. Okay, now we have to offset it outside with using offset tool. We have to offset it outside. Okay, well, okay, so we have to select this plane and we have to duplicate it to the upper position. You can select move, press Ctrl and duplicate to this position. Okay, then we can delete this one. Then we can just select this outline only, and we can offset it outside around 50 millimeter. Okay, so this is for the horizontal frame, and this is for the horizontal frame. This is for the glazing anyway. Okay, so we can select this plane, select move, press Ctrl and place to this position. Then we have to push it down around 100 millimeter approximately. Triple click, right click, make group and set the aluminum material. Right click, make component and create. Then we can select move, duplicate to the upper position around 1.5 meter. Oh, sorry. We have to duplicate it around 2 meter. Okay, well, now we can make the duplication again to this slab. We have to select move, press Ctrl and place to this position. Place to this position and okay. Okay, I feel that we have to make this another horizontal frame again. Okay, now we can select this plane. We can click this plane and edit, copy. Okay, and then we have to edit, paste in place. Okay, then we have to offset it outside. Okay, by same width of this vertical frame. Then we have to push it down around 100 millimeter. Triple click, right click and make group. Okay, then we have to make component. Make group. We have to make component, create. Then we can select move, press Ctrl and place to this position. Okay, then we have to select move again, place to this position and place to this position. Okay, well, now we can continue it to make the another one. Click the surface, edit, copy, exit from the group, edit, paste in place. Then we have to offset it outside. Okay, then we can delete this one and then we can push it down around 100 millimeter. Triple click, right click and make group. We can assign the material, right click and make component, create, and then we can select move, press Ctrl, place to this position. Okay, then we can select move, press Ctrl, place to this position and press to this position. Okay, now we can delete this vertical frame. We can delete this plane anyway. Okay, now we can select push to this another position. We can push to this position. Then we can push this surface to this position. Okay, now we can triple click, right click and make group. Okay, we can make again the surfaces. We can click and edit, copy. Okay, and exit from the group and we can edit, paste in place. Then we can offset it outside. Okay, then we can offset it outside again around 50 millimeter. Then we can delete some unnecessary plane over there. We have to push it up until this position and push it down to the another position. We can triple click, right click, and make group. Okay, well, now we can make again for the envelopes of glazing. We can click this surface and edit, copy, okay, and exit from the group, and then we can edit, paste in place. Then we have to offset it outside in this position. Okay, then we can offset it outside again around 50 millimeter or 5 centimeter. Okay, then we can push it down again. Then we have to push it up until this position. You can triple click, right click, and make group. Okay, well, now we can make the another glazing with using glass, and using the glass. Okay, and this is about the commercial building with a plaza in this inner area. Okay, now we can make the another element. We can make the another ground floor element. We can click this plane. We can select edit, copy, okay, and then we can edit, paste in place, and push it down. Okay, we can triple click, right click, and make group. We can delete for unnecessary line. Okay, then we can assign the material with this one, and we can also move and duplicate this one to this position. Okay, then we can rotate this one to this position. Okay, well, now anyway, you can adjust the structural system because this is just for meshing concept. Okay, I will make this landscape. This is just for conceptual purpose, meshing building. So you can explore more for the landscaping area over there. You can edit the landscape area over there with using this pattern. Okay, so you will add this landscape element. This is about the landscape element with the grass placement. Okay, so you will so you can add the connection between the every single place on the left and right place over there. Okay, now you can add more landscape element again to the another position. We can select the line only, select a move, press Ctrl, and place to this position anyway, and this one also. Select a move, press Ctrl, and place to this position. Okay, well, now we can select the landscape, and we can assign the material on this landscape area. Okay, now we can assign the material for this one, and we can adjust the material. We can adjust the color of the material with RGB. Okay, then we can adjust the level of the darkness, and then we can add the component, and we can set the situation to make a representative enough, which is that was so many people over there. Okay, for example, we can make the silhouette people, we can make the standing people over there. Okay, and this is for the standing people again in here. This is for the silhouette people in here, and silhouette people. Okay, then we can add this 3. Then we can assign the materials with the glazing, green glazing, to make it more representative. Then we can add the duplication. Okay, we can add the duplication in this position. Okay, we can add the duplication on that position, and we can assign the landscape area over there. Again, we can duplicate for several people to make it more crowded, than before. Okay, to make it more representative and make it more crowded than before. Okay, well, now we can set the shadow. Okay, we can set the shadow, and we can set the style and uncheck the profile. Okay, it has been done. Okay, anyway, we can also set the style to be the style, and we can set the style and uncheck the profile of it. Okay, this is for the presentation of the commercial building with Plaza. Okay, thanks for watching, and just wait for my next tutorial, and so you can improve your skill by trying to exercise the 3D modeling for meshing modeling or structural modeling of the commercial building. Okay, thanks for watching, and just wait for my next tutorial. Thank you.